If you got some value out of my first talk on representational systems, perhaps I could add to that with this second talk, which is about the common mistakes people make about the topic. First one is the inability to distinguish between see, hear, feel and visual, auditory, kinesthetic. They're not just different labels for the same thing. See, hear, feel refers to the sensory channel you used in order to take in the data. Visual, auditory, kinesthetic refers to how you process that data once it's inside. Mistake number 2 is to imagine that there's a necessary connection between the sensory channel used to bring in the data and the method of storage for representation later. There's no necessary connection at all. The fact that you've looked at something doesn't mean to say that you've stored it as a picture. You can use any other of the rep systems to do that. Now, you might find that very difficult to believe because it's counterintuitive. So, of the many examples I could give, I've chosen one to just give you the illustration in the form of a challenge. The challenge is this. I'm going to bring down onto the flip chart half a word. My invitation to you is to complete that word and be very, very aware of how specifically you did that task. So, here's the half word. Please complete this. Time starts now. Shouldn't take long. Time's up. Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious is the name of a song. And for most people, I would suggest, the way in which you recognize the first half of the thing that I'd written and were able to complete it was through your auditory channel. The number of times I've done this, people have said, they sometimes say it to themselves, supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. Others have told me that they actually hear the music. And others say the word and then add da 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 da. My point being that yes, you took in the test through your eyes, but you answered it in your auditory rep system. More to the point, if you have not come across the song for which this is the title, you can't answer the question, because the word itself is nonsensical, except in the context of a piece of music. Mistake number 3 is to imagine that because you used a sensory word, that will automatically cause a change in somebody's representational system. Sorry, no. No good saying, look, to me and imagining I'm automatically going to go visual. No, it's not the case at all. This is, I guess the first 3 mistakes bring together the statement, no, NLP isn't about see, hear, feel. You can provide people with lots to look at, and lots to hear, and lots to play with. It's not necessarily going to have them store all of that in one sequence. Mistake number 4, a bit challenging. There's no such thing as rep systems. Visual rep, auditory rep, kinesthetic rep, gustatory rep, olfactory rep, no. To help you out here, please take a look in the dictionary at a verb to reify, R-E-I-F-Y. The nominalization of that is reification. To reify is to consider an abstract concept as if it were a concrete object. In other words, the term visual rep system, for example, is just verbal shorthand. It's a simpler way of saying I am paying attention right now to the pictures that I've been continuously making ever since I was born. I am now searching through my memory banks of all the sounds that I have stored in my auditory channel. But no, visual rep system, auditory rep system, etc. It's just a way of speaking. There's no such thing. And again, it's helpful to realize this, because what it means is you don't change your rep systems. What you change is what you pay attention to. So, having said all those mistakes, does this mean that the teaching of representational systems is a bad thing? Well, no. Rep systems are extraordinarily useful when you're dealing with neurological strategies, when you're dealing with submodalities, when you're dealing with the use of the four-tuple when presenting, and to directionalize people's attention. But I think that's probably enough for the moment. My ask is that you digest that, and then in the next clip I'll give you some insights into how this manifests into the world, and a couple of examples, one hilarious and the other absolutely devastating and disastrous. Until then, sleep well.